Gundam.tk presents SD Gundam Age-2 Normal and Double Bullet. Hey, what's up again everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs from GundamReviews.net, and if you checked out the previous part, I showed off the MS mode of the Age-2 Normal and Super Deformed, and its Strider form and the transformation, but remember, it's got this stand here so you can keep the DB wear on there. So now let's transform it and check it out as the Double Bullet. And all completed, here it is with a lot more firepower. He had some big shoulders before. For whatever reason, these ones seem to be just a little bit bigger. But in terms of the proportions, I'd say that he's going to look just great there. The shoulders are just suitably oversized there, despite the fact that he's got really stumpy T-Rex arms. But the twin dods are the most important thing that are going to catch your eye, to go along with the fact that he's gone back to the traditional red Gundam feet here, and the red cuffs are really going to help show it off. And those seals are certainly a plus, I'd say, on the weapons over here, and not a detriment. The legs are going to offer the same stiff mobility here. The shoulders are still going to be able to rotate around, but of more interest is just what these cannons can do, and you'll notice that they're on a ball joint there, so they can spin around all the way if you want to, and you can have them move in and out this much if you're having him shoot across his body. Comparison time, and next to a cartoony-eyed Age-1 Titus over there, and this one is going to have the extra effect parts that you can only get if you buy more than one to go along with the Lariat, but you can see that the DB is just going to look a little bit small in comparison. The Titus should be hulked out there, but overall I'm a real fan of the proportions, and I think that those twin dods sticking off to the side are looking great. Here it is next to the SD 00 Gundam here. It doesn't have the riser on, even though it's got the effect parts on. You can see the idea, though, of big shoulders here with the clear green parts sticking into the GN drives there. To go along with the clear parts and the seals all over the body, they've certainly come a long way, especially when you see these other old ones. Like the V2 Assault Buster, on which the Double Bullet shared more similarities than I expected once it actually debuted in the anime. But of course, this guy having no legs whatsoever, except for those little flat ones, certainly doesn't help. Add-on parts all over the place. You can see that he's going to be about as wide, but even with the wings and the effect parts on there, he's going to be big and bulky, but half the height and nowhere near as intimidating or modern looking. And here's the comparison shot of the normal and the Double Bullet. Of course, I wonder which one you guys prefer. I'm keen on both of them, but I'd say that the cartoony eyes are going to take away a little bit, so I'm probably going to go with the serious eyes after I do this up. But anyway, you can see that the shoulders of the H2 Normal are going to be quite a bit larger, but the blue feet and the blue cuffs are going to give him a real 00 feel, as opposed to this one, where the red over there is just going to make him look a little bit classic, or so it seems to me. Here it is next to it. It's an advanced grade counterpart, and you can see that this is going to have most of the color wraps there in the chest, but the big difference is just going to be on the cuffs, I'd say, where you're only going to have the white ones there compared to the SD, which is going to be better. Not to mention the fact that it's got seals over there all over the place. The plain part there compared to the seal over here, and the details in the head. The AG has a remarkable amount, just the fact that it's got the red and the space there with the green eyes, and you've got a red jewel and a red goatee. But overall, the SD is going to have way more improvements over that, as you'd expect for an extra 300 or 400 yen. And finally, next to its high-grade counterpart, and you can just see that the proportions of the SD are a lot of fun compared to the high-grade, and yes, they seem to be very similar in color wraps and quality. To posing now, where I don't suppose you're going to have all that many possibilities. You can turn the arm up and the twin dods, or you can keep the arm down and spin the twin dods forward, but it is cool that you can bend them in and out, although these hollow parts inside both the gray parts and the red is going to be a little bit distracting. Popping the guns out and putting them in the hands similar to Strike Freedom is going to look pretty cool, but how much cooler would it be if there were some effect parts coming out of these red parts, as you saw in the V2AB? And I really can't believe that I'm saying this, but if you've got the wear on for the Double Bullet, then you can take all the normal parts, and usually I'm just going to stick that in an old Ziploc kind of thing. But in this case, you've got the stand here, and as long as you don't have it up aerial and transformed, you can put almost every single part on here, except for the beam saber. I wonder if you could just squeeze that in and put it behind the shield or something like that. But anyway, pop the shoulders on, pop the legs on, put the feet, both parts on there, and the cuffs. You can put the shield on the back, the dods on the front, the top of the head, which is used when it's in its flight mode, is on there, and you can actually, if you detach the whole head, you can actually plug this whole thing into the back when you've got it in Strider form. Overall, incredibly well designed Bandai. For a throwaway piece of big gray plastic, incredibly well designed. For the transformation, it's going to be almost the same as the normal, except you're not going to be fiddling around with the arms as much. And I've got to say that compared to the Normal's transformation and the Strider form, this one, which doesn't even seem to have a special name, just double bullet transformation, is looking pretty dull in comparison. Not all that bad. I mean, the guns spinning forward look good, the shoulders look good, even though they don't have the same kind of colors that we saw in the Normal. The feet going back in that in the upright position is certainly a big help. That part there for the waist is going to work. You don't necessarily have to do it, but I think it looks better. The head is going to become a little bit more prominent, and you're going to notice the fact that it doesn't have a red seal there for the V-fin. So with a big sticker sheet, that should have been fixed. So then again, if you're going to buy 4 of these, I suppose, you could have this, Strider form, this, and the double bullet. Well, I think you could probably cut that down to just 3. And since this is an SD, why not be silly? Of course, you could swap all the limbs off all over the place. But they do give you one extra bonus of if you take this blue part off here and put it down on the side as you would in Strider mode. This is going to work, of course, in Strider mode as well. You can take that, put that on, and then if you detach the shoulders, the twin dots, from the double bullet, you can take this and plug it in on here to make... And you can make the Age-2 normal bullet. Which sadly you're only going to notice from the sides, because otherwise you're not going to see the twin dots on there. They tell you to swap off the legs so you'll have your blue cuffs to go along with the red feet, but it is pretty cool if you bring the arms forward there. No weight issues, or so it seems, just a little bit. But then again, it is still cool that they're going to give you that option. Strider form, same idea. You can have these pointing backwards and the guns pointing forward. I'm not going to make a whole verdict for this because it's really easy to sum up. If you like SD and you like Age and you like Age-2 and Asano, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't pick this up. Incredible colors, lots of fun, and more importantly, they're just fun to do. All the things to swap the wares, to transform them, and the little bonuses that are built in the BB Senshi originals. Everything about this is positive for me, and it just makes me just shake my head in wonderment over how far SDs have come, and I wish they'd go back and redo all the leads and a whole bunch more in this new long-legged, posable, multicolored style. Anyway, everybody, why don't you let me know what you think about this? The Normal, the double bullet, do you like them both? How do you like it compared to AG, HG, and everything else? And will you be buying more if there's a black version in the future? Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bandai's given us 5 separate mobile suits. You could have the 2 transformed ones to make that into 7. You can throw in a white one in 2 colors, I suppose, if you want to go Strider. And then a pirate. Yeah, that's a lot, and we haven't even hit Age 3 yet.